Welcome to the news at the Den, bringing you all the latest live from history. Our top story tonight, plague news, and we're going over live to 14th century London, where the council says too much waste is going into landfill. Our reporter Peter Coleman has all the latest.
1348, and London is a stinking hellhole. But this is caused by the bodies of the dead and the government's recycling plans, which are also causing a bit of a stink as well as the bodies do. And it's a summer of discontent. Earlier today, I caught up with the Mayor of London.
Well, what is clear is that this particular pandemic, the Black Death as some people are calling it, is putting an unusual amount of pressure on our door-to-door collection services.
Bring out your dead.
All we're saying is that we will now be collecting corpses once a fortnight rather than once a week as we have been. And the other week we'll be collecting green waste, old wooden buckets and bits of paper.
But mass printing won't be invented for about another 90 years.
Which just goes to show that we need to get our paper collections up and running in plenty of time. I mean, obviously to start with we'll be burning it, but I'm sure we'll come up with something better. We've got a committee.
But what about the build-up of corpses? Some people are saying that weekly collections aren't enough, and now you're cutting those.
We carried out a major consultation with all 25 of the Honourable Council of Aldermen, and not one of them said to me that the changes would cause them a problem. Case closed.
What's an alderman?
Well, if you don't know what an alderman is, I don't know why I'm bothering talking to you.
The cuts will hit home hardest at the home of the Dorringes of Chiswick. At their home, they put a dead body out every single week. And oddly enough, it's always the same one.
My grandfather was a sailor who got about a bit when he was younger. Now, he always knew there was a risk that he would come back as a zombie after he died. There was a minor incident where he was cursed after sexually assaulting a witch in Genoa in 1312. I mean, there was a lot of it about in those days. He was a young man. But even so, I still think the council should continue to take him away.
So you put his body out for the bin men every week?
And each week, he manages to give them the slip. But if they cut back on these collections, we're going to have to spend more time than ever with him. Hanging around the house, dribbling, lurching and moaning. My missus wants to put him in home. But you try finding one on this side of the river that'll take in zombies.
It's very simple. If he's moving, we let him go. My men are not trained to tell the difference between the dead and the undead. If it twitches, that's not our department. If this family have got a zombie, they should talk to pest control, not refuse.
But surely your switch to fortnightly collections is just letting down all families at a time of plague when they need you most.
Plague, plague, plague. It's all just media hype. OK, so we've had a few people off sick. And yes, they have died in horrible agony with pus-filled boils. But that is not going to stop us from meeting our recycling targets. What alternatives are there? Mass grave is a very ugly word.
Phrase.
Coming up in the next half hour, we speak exclusively to the Witchfinder General as he defends his use of waterboarding.